Hey, all you comic book readers and true believers, it's Tuesday, and we're feeling neighborhood comic book guy, Mitch Harmon. You guys know what's up. Mitch's Picks. From Ahoy Comics, Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Terror, #1. Written by Tom Payer, Mark Russell, many different writers and artists. This is a new, kind of ongoing, kind of mini story of kind of almost like a Tales from the Crypt, but featuring Edgar Allan Poe. He's definitely the Crypt Master at the beginning of each story, and each one has a spooky or kind of spooky and grotesque story that goes on in this. There's 4 stories in this one and the #1, and I'm assuming each one's going to have about 3 or 4 stories in them. They're just kind of standalone stories, nothing to really know about what's going on in them. Just in time for Halloween and all those spooky stuff, guys. Check it out. From Vertigo Comics, Hex Wives, #1, written by Ben Blacker, art done by Mirka and Doloff. This story revolves around these coven of witches. I'm guessing they get reincarnated every time they get killed, but from the 15th century on, pretty much the Salem witch trials, which I guess is 17th century, sorry, to modern day, these women have constantly been at the forefront of change and everything. Sometimes very bloody change. You know how the witches were treated in Salem and all that stuff. But they somehow, through like, I don't know, mysticism, kind of always come up and meet each other again in all these stories. Either that or they're just immortal. Although they're not immortal. I don't know. Not really clear on what's going on in this book so far, but it is a lot of world building. 400 plus years of history, all kind of condensed down into this one issue. And that's just getting you to the modern times, and then now we have the actual stuff that goes on. But it seems like someone's trying to hunt them down because they're constantly going through trying to kill the witches, and so now the witches have been killing them. Not too much has been revealed in this one, but I really like the concept of it, and it's a new Vertigo book, guys. It's going to be good. Check it out. Comics, Vault of Spiders, #1, written by Jed MacKay, Cullen Bunn, James Asmus, art done by Javier Peludo, Scott Kobalsh, many different. This is kind of an amalgam of different stories. If you guys have been following Spider-Geddon, you know it's dealing with spider people from all different universes. And this is basically origin stories, or not really origin maybe, but more of just kind of showcasing where these people are. You have Cowboy Spider-Man, and these are not their actual names, I'm just kind of making them up. Cowboy Spider-Man, manga, space, Gundam Spider-Man. You have also kind of futuristic internet Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and also a savage Spider-Man, kind of like almost like a Khazar type of character in this one. This is not exactly tying directly into Spider-Geddon, but it is kind of showcasing these new spider people to help fight the fight against the Inheritors. But this is a 1 of 2 series, guys. Check it out. From Image Comics, Witches, Bad Egg, one-shot, Halloween special, written by Scott Snyder, art done by Jock. For those of you who don't follow the Witches story, the witches are these creatures that kind of live in the woods, and they ask for pledged people. Basically, pledge is pledge, and if you get pledged to a witch, basically you're just fodder for them, food, and you're going to be consumed, while the suckles, they get to reap the benefits, advances in medicine, things that make you live longer, make you stronger, different types of stuff. And this story highlights the character that will be showcased in the 2nd volume, Sebastian. Kind of shows his first interaction with witches. Also come to find out that there's this iron, they call themselves the Irons, and they're basically witch hunters, so to speak. But it involves Sebastian's first encounter with witches, and also kind of lays a little bit more of the groundwork ready for volume 2. If you guys haven't read any of it, it's still kind of a jumping on point. This #1 is, or this one-shot is a good read, and you can kind of piece together for the most part. The first one is about Sailor and her family. You really don't need to know all about this just for this story, but I still recommend reading that book, guys. Check it out. From DC Comics, The Men in Steel hardcover, written by Brian Michael Bendis, art done by Jim Lee, Steve Rude, Ivan Reese. There's a lot of artists attached to this book, guys. This is a 6-part miniseries, kind of setting the stage for Brian Michael Bendis' jump on to Superman and to Action Comics. This reveals a new supervillain, or the destroyer of Krypton, which we thought was destroyed by itself. You know how comic books go. Rogal Zar is the new character, and he kind of is showing up in the Superman books as well. Also helps set the stage for his son John going off into space with his thought to long be dead father, Superman's father, that is. And also Lois going and chaperoning him. A lot of changes happen in this series, guys, but this is the beginning of the Brian Michael Bendis stuff. So if you're looking for a jumping on point, this is it. That's all my picks for this week, everyone. Keep reading your comics, true believers. See you guys next week.